Hi Scrubs, I hope you're well.
Hello, you awesome people.
Hello, Starfam.
And welcome to the Soul Riders podcast. And we know we're late again. This is just how it is when it's summer, people. It's vacations and some work and some happens to have other stuff going on. And it's just very hard to plan dates when it works for everyone. We are 4 people that needs to have a few hours on one specific day to sit down and just nerd. And that's quite hard. But we managed now. We're here. So that's good. We're hopefully it probably will happen in the future again. But just so you know, it's usually just this reason, mostly. We want to thank you all for the response we got last time. So happy to hear that you were inspired and you liked the guest and you were just generally happy with the episode as usual. Because we're so happy when you like it, because it makes us want to continue doing this. But it has been June, even though it's July now, but June has passed, and we have a new topic, which is actually you guys, creative Starfam. We are going to talk about the community and the creativity that we have in our wonderful, wonderful community. And who other to join us than the most amazing and adorable Clara Lightland. Welcome!
Welcome.
Hello everyone!
Hi! Would you like to present yourself?
Of course. So I started playing the game in May 10th, 2014, so that has been 5 years already. And I really like to be creative and let my imagination fly away, so I've started doing and sharing content on my social medias since I would say late 2014, and right now mainly my main platform is Instagram, which is Clara Lightland, and
yeah. Great. We're so happy that you could join us. I mean, you're going to answer so many questions in the end that it just amazes me with you. You're we're all ambassadors, even though we generally don't talk about us being ambassadors, but now we are 3 ambassadors. You were an ambassador. Or are
I'm
you?
an ex-ambassador.
Yes, you're an ex-ambassador. I was like, wait, what? You're an ex-ambassador, but you were a great one. Wow. So we're going to talk a bit about that later on and what you do now. But first, as I said before, people, June has passed. Oh, lovely June. What has been happening in June with all you people? Let's start with TC. Have you painted something?
No, it's all done. We're done with that. We're not starting anymore. I will admit, the picture, I still haven't hung the picture up, but it's because I've been trying to find something that won't damage the walls when I do hang it up. So I still have 2 of the paintings are on the floor. One of them is up because there was already a nail in the wall for that. So no, I did see something the other day, so I might actually go get that, because it's some kind of device. You can stick it on the wall, but you can also pull it down and it doesn't damage. Oh. Because I don't want to damage the paint after spending all the time painting.
No.
Oh. Yeah.
No. But as for Star Stable, I have... Well, recently, one of my clubs sort of was saying, we should start baking again, because, some of us do occasionally bake, and some of us bake quite a lot. So it was let's just do a club thing. So we kind of started at the very, very last day of May. So what we are doing at the minute is sort of roughly every 2 weeks, we'll pick something to bake. So
you mean
the first
cookies and stuff?
Yeah. So
okay, good.
I know it's not really game related so much, but it's as a club, just baking and then posting the pictures up. So it's just kind of to do something that's related to the club, but it is outside of Star Stable itself. So basically the first time we did it, I let anyone just choose whatever they wanted to make, and then the second time we did cookies, and then we're going to do bread next week. So that is the plan anyway. But yeah, it's just something interesting to do and something different.
I love it.
So...
I will burn the kitchen.
That might happen.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just to do something fun, because it's nice to try different things and so forth. So we've been doing that. We then did a club event recently because we hadn't really done any club events in game. We were kind of more doing stuff outside. Some of us have been playing other games together and things like that. So we're trying to hopefully finally do our dressage to music event, which I was trying to organize today. So well, not for today, obviously, but hopefully my club can look forward to that. So that's kind of what I've been up to.
Ooh, cool. It's so nice to have one that is still in a club.
Yeah.
Are you both out of clubs then?
Well, actually, we are still in Comet Hogs. It's just not active anymore.
Yeah.
And so being in a club that's not active, which means that I'm generally less social than I used to be before. While I'm June has been vacation time for me, which some might have noticed on all my social media and stuff. So I 2 weeks where there were 2 weeks where I prepped videos and stuff for the time when I wouldn't be in the country, basically. Which was my real vacation, because I traveled to Montenegro the last 10 days of June. So I have basically been sunbathing and swimming, sleeping, eating good food, and just
lovely.
Yeah, it was great. And we got home very late on Sunday because we missed our connecting flight.
Oh no.
But luckily we could get on the next flight, so we were like 2-3 hours later than usual. But we would have landed around 9 p.m., but it ended up being midnight.
Oh wow.
And on top of that, it does take around 40-45 minutes with a cab from the airport home to us. But it was okay. So I haven't played that much. I mostly played when it was like updates. I did a stream. I'm trying to get through the horses that I need to level.
Same here.
Same.
Like I don't want to even listen to that episode we had before where we talked about training horses, because I'm not the same person anymore. I don't know what happened to me. But yeah, that has been my June, I guess. And Cici, what have you been up to?
Well, I have done a little bit of traveling myself too. My sister got married.
Congratulations.
Yay! So it was lovely. And she recently moved to another town, so we had to travel there. And it was really lovely. We were so lucky with the weather. Because it was kind of raining the morning she was supposed to get married. And she was supposed to get married in a beautiful park with the lake. But exactly, when they were supposed to, say I do's and that. It was just
the ceremony.
Yeah, the ceremony. It was just stopped raining. It was so sunny and beautiful, and it was perfect. So it was like, yes.
How romantic.
Yeah.
Happy ending.
Yeah,
happy ending.
really nice. But then when I got home, I got sick. So it was so sad. Like the rest of my vacation, I was like having a really nasty cold.
No.
So that was kind of a bummer. So yeah. Other than that, I've been working and, trying to learn some horses.
Train the horses,
Yeah. That's like an ongoing project.
Yeah, never-ending project, really.
Yeah, never-ending story.
There's been a lot of horses out in a very short period of time, and it's very hard to keep on top of it right now.
Clara, what have you been up to this June?
Well, the beginning of June I went to Spain, which is kind of like a big deal, because I've been like, as some of you may know, I've been like traveling on my own. So I've been away from home for nearly like 10 months, and I went to Spain for like a week for my mom's birthday. So I said hello to the sun, because I almost forgot how it looked like, because in Sweden everything is grey and rainy. Oh well.
Sorry.
Well, that's what I signed up for. Other than that, I just came back. I went for runs. I worked at Star Stable because I'm mainly the one working now. And then I ate sushi.
Oh, so good. I had to, like, in Montenegro, we actually went to a restaurant, and a lot of restaurants there have sushis. And I have to say, at the place we were at, had the most fresh salmon and tuna. Oh my god, it was so good.
That sounds like heaven.
Yeah, so if you wanna go to Montenegro for sushi, that's actually quite good. Okay, yeah, continue. Sorry.
I also like join some afterworks because here at Star Stable we have like some fun afterwork, so it's great to meet new people. And I also visited Stockholm like sometimes, and also I keep learning my Swedish. I keep practicing more and more. So right now I'm kind of like trying to learn one Swedish word a day or like a sentence.
Oh,
so
it's cool.
I'm getting there slowly, step by baby step.
Can you say a sentence now?
What do you want me to say?
Yeah, I don't know. Just if you had anything in mind, if you.
Yeah.
No, not right now.
Okay.
No pressure. Like I'm kind of like trying.
No, okay, good. No, we're moving on. But it was quite a fun since we had Stacy on before. Every time I meet Stacy, she always learns sort of a new word when she's with me, and I tend to teach her like the most difficult words there are. Mostly like.
I heard the word nurse is the hardest.
Sjuksköterska.
Yeah, that one. That's like the one that I would never be able to pronounce in my life.
Oh, yeah, it has the sounds and it has it's a difficult word.
Like if you're about to die, you say like,
it's okay to say. They will know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I heard it right. Who court to sure?
That's
probably
He's just like me right now, kind of lost.
Sjuksköterska.
Who court to sure?
No.
No. Okay, no, I'm not gonna get it obviously.
Let's see now. What? There are two words in one. That's why it's so difficult.
You see, it's very funny hearing anyone from Northern Ireland try to speak French or Spanish or anything because it does not sound anything like it should.
It's even okay. The Swedish is not the most best word, or language. It's not easy.
No.
Okay, so good. I'm looking forward to hear you being able to speak Swedish fluently.
Yeah, me too. Good luck.
Thank you. Tack så mycket.
Good luck.
Yay!
She said thank you.
Yay!
Okay, so that was June for everyone. Just the beginning of summer. I mean, we have the summer is not long, especially not in Sweden, but it's still like the. I mean, we have like 3 months of summer in Sweden, and June is like the first part. As we recorded, we are in the second, like in the middle part, and then we're gonna be in the third part. Anyway, so it's gonna be interesting to hear what you guys do next time. But now we are ready for our topic, which is the creative Starfam, as I said before. And it will be as usual this time, and not as it was with Stacy, that was more interviewish style. This time we are going to discuss a bit more, because this does revolve all of us, because we're all in the community.
Yes, we're all part of it.
Yes, and do we love it? I mean, I always say that the Starfam community is just one of a kind.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not
unique, 100%. Yes.
Yes, I would say it is unique. So let's start. Just put it out there for people who doesn't really know any of us. They probably know TC, but still. What sort of creative content do you do today? Let's start with Cici.
Well, for starters, this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I have my blog and Instagram. So I'm still in the making of redoing my blog into a role-playing blog. So I'm kind of working with that. Which is so hard because I want to do like everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm getting there. Mainly just Instagram for me right now.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
TC, what's your deal?
Well, I suppose definitely the biggest one's obviously YouTube. I
Yeah.
try to post every single day.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to Instagram, it's usually just when I feel like it, or something interesting, or something that I don't really have any particular kind of deal with it. I used to post more than I probably do now. Partially because I know this probably sounded a little bit daft, but I feel like after a while, especially on Instagram more than YouTube, I feel like there gets to a point where you're like, I don't feel like posting unless it's actually something worth posting. Because whenever it was just, when I initially made my Instagram, it was literally just for me and my club. You know, so that we would have somewhere where we could put stuff, funny pictures and stuff like that. You know, and a lot of that would be sometimes inside jokes and things. But now it's become something else. Yeah. Yes, technically I could have a separate Instagram, but I guess now it's like I have to be more aware of what I post there. And I can't just post anything random, because to some people it'll not make any sense. Or there'll be no relevance. So I feel like I actually think nearly more about my Instagram posts, because I know what I'm going to put in my YouTube.
Yeah.
But Instagram is like a completely different thing, so I did used to sometimes do little mini silly stupid edits with Mr. Campbell, which somebody wrote a comment recently, which I've been considering making into an edit. Don't know if I'll do it, because I haven't edited in a very long time, but that's really kind of most of the stuff that I do.
Okay. Clara, what are you up to? What do you do for fun?
I spam people on stories. No, okay, just kidding. I mainly work, but that's true too. I mainly work on Instagram, where I post pictures of me working at Star Stable, me in game, or anything. Like mainly my feed is just my imagination, or it's like completely random. I have like no theme at all. It's wild. And so I just have fun there, talking to people, interacting, DMs, and posting stories. Yeah, just mainly Instagram. Like YouTube, it's not a thing anymore. So yeah, Instagram is my little world.
Wait, did you say that YouTube is not a thing anymore?
For me!
Oh,
For me!
Oh wow.
Okay, good. It's not Clara. I was like, wait, what?
No thanks!
Okay, and for me, it's mostly videos for YouTube, and I do pictures. I take pictures in the game and post on my Instagram. I haven't really gotten into like edit them like others can be editors, like amazing editors. I mostly just take pictures. Maybe I edit tiny flaws if there is a hole somewhere that I just want. Like there can be a hole in the helmet or in the hat. I just no hole. And then it's just editing inside the Instagram app. Nothing really more than that. And I'm mostly happy when I get comments where people are like, oh, it's actually quite nice to see someone just posting the pictures as they are, because I do believe that some can get a bit what is it called when it's
pressured?
Yeah, a bit pressured.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
From seeing all the edits, but we're going to probably get to that somewhere else. So I just take pictures and I do videos, and I do have my blog as well where I write in Swedish, and then we have this podcast. So I do quite a lot now that I think about it. I don't do music. Maybe I should start. I need a new branch. But that ain't happening. No. Okay, so now you people know what we do. Then since some of us do have different channels, which channel do you prefer to make content for and to look at? And then, where do you look to others' content? Like, where do you prefer to do your content for? And where do you look at others' content? I can answer, like, for me, I prefer to make content for YouTube, because I feel that is more fun. I do like to write as well, but I just feel like making YouTube videos is my preferred content. But I mostly look at other Star Stable creators' content on Instagram. I rarely actually look at YouTubers that are from Star Stable. I don't know why. But I think it is because I like to see the content that I can do myself, like the edits that are amazing. So I like to look at Instagram and all the people's amazing edits and just be marveled by how amazing they are. So that is what I prefer. What do you prefer, Clara?
Mainly for me, the important thing that whenever I do content, I want to feel like as connected as possible with my audience, and that is Instagram. I feel like everything is more like compacted. Like you have like DMs, and you can post stories, and you can like connect in all the possible ways with your followers. So I will pick Instagram as my favorite so far.
For both.
And
okay, yeah.
yeah, and then if I have to look for others content, I will mainly choose Instagram. Will be like my first, because I like to like just look what the community is up to, all the trends, the hashtags, just like to see what the community is up to. And then YouTube, I will say that too, because I often get links like, hey Clara, you should look at this video, it's really cool, because mainly like people will share more feedback, like the updates, they will just talk about it. And I think that's really like, because I work here, so I have to like also get an idea of what's like on people's mind. So I really like to like listen to players' feedback, and also there are like many creative people who creates videos, be like ideas for Star Stable, and they create like animations and stuff, super cool. So that's kind of like the videos that I enjoy watching, just to connect even more with the community. So I would say Instagram and YouTube then.
Okay, interesting. Still, Instagram and YouTube are like at the top. TC, where do you prefer?
For making my own content, YouTube.
Yeah.
Hands down. As I said with Instagram, I feel like there's this, I don't know why, but I feel with Instagram there's this extra pressure there.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes, where it's like, because I think that is actually, as you mentioned, the fact that people will say to you, it's nice to see someone posting pictures.
Yeah.
I think with Instagram has got, like, whenever I first joined Instagram, there was not the level there is now of editors or people who could draw.
Yeah.
And, you know, back then, I remember when I first started Instagram, there was just, like, there were a couple of people, but there was not. I mean, I remember there was one person that I came across when they were on 350 followers, and I loved their artwork, and I was like, why aren't there more people following them? But then that picked up, and they're like way over like 20,000 now. You know, like that was way back, many years ago. So I feel like the community now, to a degree, there's a bit of saturation, because a lot of people are creating content now on Instagram. And I think I sort of look at Instagram and go, there's no point in me posting this unless there's really something good about it or useful or whatever. I try to sometimes take that pressure off and go, you know what, just post what you want to post. So I've tried to do that more recently. Probably people have noticed that. But I just felt a little bit lost with Instagram, because, as I said, my Instagram, I never really had a particular direction with it, and I'm trying to find my footing with it, because I don't really do edits, I don't do roleplay, you know, realistic roleplay or anything like that. So for me, it's just where I post things.
Yeah.
If I think of something, see something funny, so forth. Or to get feedback and talk to people. That's really the only reason that I use it, you know. I guess in that regard. For YouTube, I prefer to make content for YouTube, because I know what I want to do. I know what I enjoy making. It's fun. You know, I still get to interact with my audience. Do live streams and things. So that's why I prefer it, because I feel like I have more direction there and so forth. Now, in order to look at other people's content, I look at a lot of Instagram stuff. Every once in a while, I just start going randomly through the Star Stable tags to just see what there is, because I'm just curious. And come across things. So I think I probably spend a lot of time looking on Instagram more than I do YouTube. I do watch some videos on YouTube. In terms of, like, if we look at like Facebook or blogs or anything like that, I would typically go to the likes of Facebook or blogs if I want information. Like, for example, with the Rainbow schedule, I immediately went to look for a blog for that, to get a schedule. Because I wanted a written list. I didn't want to watch a video. I just wanted a written list where I could see the schedule. So those are the things I guess I take into consideration with stuff like that.
Okay. So, I feel YouTube is winning. A tiny bit. CC, where do you prefer?
Well, for the channels, I do prefer Instagram and my blog for myself. My blog is for when I want to write something, you know, more lengthy, because Instagram feels like if I have something I want to ask the community, like, oh, this new update, this is what I think, what do you think, when I want to connect more, then I use Instagram. And my blog is more if I want to analyze from my experience and I want to have the opportunity to write a lot. And to look for others' content, I mainly look at Instagram right now. Because I really like this trend right now with the role-playing. And the amazing editors. And I do agree with you, Rose, there that it's Instagram is really cool with all the amazing editors out there. That can really draw, and that's really inspirational to look at. I did used to watch YouTube before, but I kind of got scared off because there was one period when there was a lot of spoilers there, when there was a lot of trouble with people leaking game content that weren't been released yet. And it got recommended to me because I watched so many Starster videos. So if I went to YouTube, then there was like a lot of those spoiler videos that I did not want to see at all. They were always recommended to me. So I just kind of stopped watching Starster videos on YouTube, which is kind of unfortunate. So Instagram is mostly where I go now to watch others' content.
I feel Instagram won.
Instagram.
Instagram won. Okay, so moving on. But basically, from this, we can say that YouTube and Instagram is just the most popular platforms within the community in general. Which is interesting because before, when the whole game started in 2012, 13, and so on, it was at least blogs was very popular here in Sweden.
Yeah, it was huge.
I think it's informational blogs for me. They are brilliant. I love them. They're the first place I go when I need something. It's like, I don't know where this is, I don't know where this clothing is, or I don't know the coordinates for this, or I don't know where the schedule is for this. That's where I go.
And we cannot forget Star Stable Database. It's
the
best.
It's amazing.
Yes, praise the database.
Yes. Advertisement here, people. Star Stable Database is the perfect place for you if you want to know where that shirt came from, or that blanket, or that saddle. Go there, please. It has gotten to a point where my phone knows exactly what to write every time someone asks where I got stuff from. Okay, so moving on. Where do you find your inspiration? TC, where do you find your inspiration?
In very random places sometimes. I heard an ice cream advert the other day, and for some strange reason gave me an idea for something for a Star Stable video. I don't actually know if I'll do it because it's one of those things that's a bit different from my normal content. So that was random. And then, another thing was, as I said earlier, like somebody wrote an Instagram comment on something that I posted a little while ago, and I thought, that would be a nice idea for an edit. Haven't done it, don't know if I will, but things like that sometimes, or it could just be having seen something and thought, that would be interesting, maybe I'll do this or whatever. I think it's just, you get inspired by really random things sometimes. It doesn't necessarily even have to be Star Stable content that I come across.
That is true. I think I mostly get inspiration from other creators and just watching other people's content. Because I mean, firstly, if you are new in the creative sort of business, you're gonna be monkey see, monkey do. It is okay to try and copy, but do not post. It's okay to copy and try to recreate what they did, because from that you learn the programs or whatever they use. But
I think it's just, I think the best advice, as you said, it's never to, what's the word? It's never to plagiarize, but always to credit. Because if you say, I saw this and I wanted to recreate it, always credit the person. I think that's
if you really want to post it, if you're done with it, you feel really proud.
Because I have noticed a lot of art theft recently in the community. A lot of people reposting images and then claiming that they drew them when they did not, and they were drawn by other people.
No,
Oh,
that's
no.
not.
And they'd even gone so far as to remove their watermark or their name on the image, and it
no.
was like, that's a big no-no. That
No.
is not legal.
It's
Don't do
not
that.
okay. So that is a big no-no, people. Do not
And,
do that.
and people
It's
will
rude.
always call you out, and people will always find out. Somebody
Yeah.
might not have seen it, but somebody will eventually see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
People talk. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Someone will
Yeah.
see it and they will keep talking and they will reach the person who is the creator. But yes, I watch other creators, and it can be small stuff like someone's caption can give me an idea to just a big video can give me an idea. But I also do get a lot of inspiration from the question world and the game itself. Like when I did writing lessons, of course, I was very inspired by the real equestrian world and tried to recreate a writing lesson inside the game. So yeah, a lot of equestrian stuff. And the game itself can be a bit inspiring. Clara, where do you find your inspiration?
That's a question I often get.
Okay.
I will say, like, my imagination is pretty wild, and I really do not know where it comes from. It just comes like that, pops out of nowhere. I will say I'm pretty much like a person that enjoys like little things, so I kind of like see stuff, and then I kind of like remind. It's really hard to explain, but it's kind of like I accumulate all these little things, and I just keep them in my mind. At some point, I will use them and create something. It's also like a mindset that I have that I like to get inspired by others, but I always try to do it my way.
Yes.
To like be original and not do the same stuff. Like if someone has done this, then I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna do like something completely different.
Yeah.
So that's where like then my creative works. It's really hard to explain. It's just like how my mind works. So it's like mainly like around myself, what I see or what I do or what I say, whatever. And also like I open my mind, and that's how I get like all the ideas. Because I feel like many people are scared to like try new things or to be creative. So it's important to have like your mind open and just go for it, try stuff. And also like I'm a person that overthinks a lot. I think more than the average people. So I kind of like think about something, and then I just keep thinking over and over, and then I get something which is like the idea. So yeah, it's mostly my mind doing work. I don't really know where it comes from.
So a good tip is just let your mind work. And do not feel like there are some norms out there that is telling you, no, you shouldn't do that. Just let it work.
Follow the flow.
Yeah, follow the flow. It's good.
That's my tip.
Well, I guess at the same time, don't put too much pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
Because, as I said, that I kind of got a little bit overwhelmed with Instagram because there's so much like just amazing content on Instagram now. I'm like, there's no point in me posting this random picture because nobody's gonna care, you know. Not like in a really horrible way. I just mean like, is there really any point in me posting this picture? Sometimes that's what I'm thinking. You know, I know, but sometimes it's like just really bizarre things, and I'm like, maybe just leave that off.
I love bizarre things. Post them.
So I think that's it for me.
Okay, Cici, where do you find your inspiration from?
From everything and everyone. I'm a very big nerd, so I'm a part of many different communities. I love Dungeons and Dragons, World of Warcraft, Star Stable, Harry Potter, anime and manga, and like anything. And I've always loved to read and write. So I've always had that passion for creativity. But my problem is like sometimes I have too much creativity. So I kind of have like 1,000 ideas at the same time. So I have trouble to pick one. So sometimes it's kind of hard to create content because I'm kind of stopped by wanting to do too much. So I kind of like, I'm very inspired also. It's a bit of a problem.
Okay, I see. At the same time, I do want to be in your brain to see.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. Okay, inspiration and all. We do maybe have a bit of a Star Stable creator that might be our favorite. So, do you have a Star Stable creator that is your favorite. TC, who is your favorite? Or do you have one?
There's a lot of different people that I like different content on for different reasons, and some of them... So I couldn't pick out a favorite, because it wouldn't be fair for me to do it, because I don't have one that is just... You know, because there's a lot of people out there that I'm like, this person can draw phenomenally, this person can animate phenomenally, this person just is really funny. You know, everybody, I've just seen different kinds of things that I look up to, or I like respect, or the skill that's involved. So there's not one person that I could name.
No.
I think the people that... I think there are plenty of people out there who know that I appreciate their content. Like, I hope they do. So, you know. But I couldn't name one, no.
You make me sound evil, because I can. But by this, I do have to say, there are many out there. Everyone out there are amazing. And this is basically just, when I choose this person, I have a reason.
Yeah.
For me, it is Esmeralda Silverforce, or Heroes for international followers. She is the first Star Stable creator I started to follow when I started to play in 2015. And ever since, I have always checked out her posts on Instagram, checking out her videos and watching her streams. It's just, she has always been there. She has always been a bit of an inspiration for me. She has developed just became so much. She became so good over time, and she now works the Star Stable. And for me, she's a very cool person, and so happy to know her in real life now, which was like for me, like when I started playing and I followed her, like I never thought I would actually meet her. So I can tell you, the first time I was at a Star Stable event, it was the first time they were at Inferno here in Stockholm. That was the first time I met Esme, and she liked me. I'm a fan. But yeah, he's an awesome person. But there are a lot more people that I do really like as creators in so many ways. But yeah, Esme is for me my favorite.
Yeah, no, I can understand that, because whenever I came into the community, I kind of came in and didn't know anyone, didn't watch anything. It was just like, just kind of this random little person.
Yeah.
I think I do remember watching Stacy whenever I originally joined. I think Stacy was the one I remember watching the most.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's just so many people out there that just, because like there's some people who draw, and I'm just like, oh my god, like this is amazing. And then I'll see a video that somebody's done, I'm like, wow, that is phenomenal. Like I can see the work that's gone into it. So like for me, it's just that's why I couldn't pick somebody, because it's just like this person. But now I can understand that, because that was somebody that, you know, when you initially came in, I can understand that.
Yay, Esme. Cici, who's your favorite, or do you have one?
Yeah, it is a really tough question. So it's kind of like you put yourself in the seat when we interview the Star Stable employees. Kind of, you know, you can get feeling they get. But I would agree with you, Rose, with Esmeralda Silverforce. I don't know if it's because we're Swedish and she has been such a huge part of the Swedish Star Stable community. So yeah, I also have the same experience, that I have followed her for a very long time. And she's a huge inspiration with her blog and YouTube, and you know, she got employed by Star Stable, and she is the walking Wikipedia. I mean, how cool is that? And she founded your Wikipedia. That is amazing. So yeah, she's really like, is she kind of like the Swedish Star Stable superstar or something?
Yeah, I feel like she is.
Yeah, she's so cool.
She would probably say no herself, like no.
Yeah, she's so nice. She's like, oh, so cool. So yeah, she's really fun to follow, because she knows like everything. So it's really fun to watch her videos because she can just go on about, small details that oh wow, I haven't thought about that. So she's like a well of Starship information. So really interesting to
in a
follow her.
way, now we do not need to put her on a pedestal, but she's probably watching or whatever. But in a way, for me, she's like the one that sort of started it all. It might be just because it's like the only one I saw before. It might be someone else as well. But for me, she's like the one who started everything. She had the big she then had big YouTube channel, she had big Instagram and so on. So she's like, in a way, for me, always in the forefront, like the one you want to be on the same level with. Okay. Let's drop this now, because she's probably like, okay, can you stop talking about me? Clara, who is your favorite?
I have way too many. But it's mainly the people I follow on Instagram, because they have, like, as we say in French, the je ne sais quoi, like something special that I really like. And it's mainly like there's art style or like their creativity, and they're a bit from everywhere. So like, should I name them? I have a few.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, so there's like this Swedish artist called Kendra Musli, and she kind of has a beautiful art style with horses, dogs, everything. She's amazing, and you should check her out. Then I have Angelica Goldforest. She's Australian, and her art style is like very cartoony. I'm not sure what's like I'm not very like I don't know the styles, but like it's like very unique, and I love it. Like I think right now it's my profile picture on most of my platforms, at least on YouTube. Then it's Jenny Walletween. She's like an amazing friend, but also an amazing artist, and she's Dutch. She's like super creative, and it's kind of like what I said before about my feed, that her feed is like her imagination, and she just posts whatever she does. I think she has like, I would definitely think she's one of the most creative artists in the community, to me. The other one is Mira's art. I think her style is like beautiful and adorable. And then I have Mendo Art.
Oh yeah, Mendo. Oh yeah,
super talented. And lastly, I have two more, which is Bethany Candlebrook. I'm not sure what's like her artist name, but she's from the US. And then one of my favorite French artists is Joanna Maxstone. But she is a bit inactive right now, but also she's like super creative. So I think mainly the thing that I like about them is that they are super creative, and they are like doing their own thing and not following the trends, and just like different. So I have so many, and if I haven't like followed new ones, or if I haven't mentioned any other, it's because I don't know them. So if you guys know any, just come to me and let me know. I want to get to know more accounts.
Great! There we got a list. People, check them out. And of course, in general, go to check if you see someone following someone else. There are so many talented people out there. I can't count them all. Like they all should have jobs with what they do.
I'm always checking accounts, and I'm always happy to get some recommendations. Just check it out.
Good. What has been your personal experience linked to this? The best personal experience linked to the Star Stable Online community. Let's start with TC.
I have no idea. Because you're making me try to think of one moment.
Yeah.
Okay, like, I can start if that works.
Well, let me think. Right. Okay. I think I've picked one. Right.
Okay. Interesting.
I guess it was when I first started to do live streams. And we'd actually be meeting people. I know it wasn't even before I did live streams. It was actually when I started to do meetups. Because whenever first off, I was just doing videos, so Starstable videos. And those are a very solo thing.
Yeah.
So the first time that I actually got to meet people in the game was probably, properly, was probably one of the nicest things. Like to actually have meetups and meet people.
Yeah.
Because you got to actually talk, like properly hang out, maybe train or something like that. And I had some fantastic meetups. Like, I laughed so much, had really good fun with people from very, very different servers. You know, on my own server, on Australian servers in the US, the Eastern European servers. I don't know if I've done a Swedish meetup yet.
Should
Not
happen.
sure.
Yeah.
I think I did maybe one or something like that. I think it was on. I remember
do one again.
Probably, yeah. So I think for me, that would be, like, because it is kind of hard to pick, but I think for me, if I had to say my best personal experiences, it would be that situation, doing the meetups and doing the lives and getting to meet different people, because otherwise it's very hard to pick anything.
Yeah,
That's kind
yeah,
of what
of
I
course.
mean. It's a very difficult thing. Pick one scenario.
Okay, interesting. I guess for me, it must be whenever the community comes together for a good cause. So for me, it was when Quicksilver started #Starfam United for anti-bullying on the internet. Because it did get a bit of a reach, and I just love to watch all people just share stories and trying to just tell everyone like bullying is just bleh. And I joined myself with my own video, and I just felt like I got a lot off my chest there, and to tell that it's just not worth anyone's time with bullying in general. So yeah, for me it was that. Clara, what was your moment? I want to hear. I'm so curious.
Actually, I have two moments. It was really hard to pick because I'm really bad at making decisions.
Okay.
But I made it. So one was when I became a Star Stable ambassadors, and it's just not the fact that I became one. It's just like the huge amount of support that I got from the community. Like they were like, "Oh my God, you made it so far!" And I was like overwhelmed by all the messages and the comments. So that really made me really happy. And the other one is like when I met my first fan, because I'm always like on Instagram, and I never went to like a Star Stable event until I think last year. Tekniska Museet, something like that. And there I met a player, and she was like the first fan that I ever met in real life. So that's like something that really touched me. And I think she has like the same name as me, but with a K. So her name was Clara, and I was crying because I was leaving the event. Because I was going back to the south of Sweden, and I was about to leave like Star Stable and then Total.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Yeah, and I just turn around, and she pokes me, and she's like, "Are you Clara Lightland?" And I was like, "Yes." And she was like, "Can I have a hug?" She was like so cute, and then we just hugged 1,000 times. And yeah, I hope I'm gonna see her again soon. I have seen her friends because she was with a group of friends. But then the other one, I think one that really also like it was like a small gesture, but that meant a lot to me, is when we had the release party at Star Stable, like maybe a month ago. I'm not sure, about the new book coming out, and the same players, because I also met them at the event. They were also part of fans that I met there, and they brought me sushi candy.
Oh yeah, they did.
So that was such a gift. Like like they knew that I love sushi, and they wanted to bring me something. So they were like, "Clara, you're gonna come at the event?" And I'm like, "Yes," but I didn't expect them to like bring anything.
Yeah,
just like it's just like sweet moments that just it meant a lot. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, but I can understand these moments. I can. Cici, what is your best?
Yeah, wow, this is such a tough question. Well, it's kind of like the whole journey of Star Stable has been very important to me, because I have grown so much as a person ever since I started playing. Because of Star Stable, I have met so many new friends, and my confidence has been boosted so much through nice comments on my blog. And getting the honor of being invited, that was a huge deal for me. That being such a huge fan of the game, and then they were like, "Oh, hi, you're a good inspiration," and yeah, that meant a lot to me. So yeah, it's hard to pick just one experience. It's kind of like everything. So yeah, and just meeting new friends, and yeah, because growing up, I was bullied a lot for being different, and I just had so many years where I was lonely, having no friends at all. So Star Stable just gave me my confidence back, meeting new friends and meeting them in real life at Star Stable events and with the club, with Sweden International Horse Show and stuff like that. But yeah, I remember the first time I met you.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was so nervous. I was like, because I followed your blog and I followed your blog and your YouTube channel. I still love all your horse reviews.
Yeah.
And it was so weird because I knew your voice for such a long time, but I've never met you. So that was pretty cool. Just connect that, a person to the voice.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm kind of like rambling right now.
No,
did I answer the question even? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I feel you did. You did.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Moving on to sort of a bit similar question, but what amazes you about the community?
Everything.
Yeah, Clara, you can start.
Should I go?
Yeah.
Go.
Okay. I feel like I call it the star power, which means that they can achieve pretty much anything on their own, but also they can come together and be even stronger, and like they can make a campaign, or they can speak out and they can support each other. I feel like they have like a strong power, but like the good kind of power. And then I feel like no matter how long you've been in the community, or if you're like a new player, you will feel like an instant connection. Like the community is huge, and like from all around the world, you will like find someone that matches with you, and you will just like you will feel connected to the community if you get to know them quite well. And then I also feel like there's this thing called like contagious creativity, that whenever you see the community with all the creativity and that they have, it's like you also want to do it too. And it's kind of, I find that inspiring, that many players are like, oh, I want to do that too, I want to be like you. So it's kind of like whatever you do, you're like inspiring people, or other people are inspiring others. And also I think one of the most important things about the community is that the community is super kind, and it's like super supportive about everything. They are like open, and that they find each other, they support each other, help each other. It's like a little family. And so I will say that if you get to be part of it, and I'm a lucky person that have been with them for 5 years, they slowly kind of become close enough to a second family, and the best part is that they just keep growing, so you get a big family. That's what I will say. So I think that every day something happens in the community that amazes me, and I think that will never stop. They are amazing, and I love them, all of them.
Yeah.
All warm and fuzzy now. TC, what amazes you about the community?
Kind of just coming back to what you mentioned earlier.
Can I just repeat everything you said?
Can I just repeat what you said?
Yeah.
But basically, no, coming back to what you said earlier, the time the Starfam United, because there are times, like, because I've seen different sides of the community when the community has, whenever something's been going on, but whenever somebody says, enough's enough of this, people really do come together, and I think that was a really good example of that. Because it was sort of a situation where, look, we need to say something about this, get this off our chest, because I think a lot of us felt the same way, and I think sometimes that's what it takes. It takes somebody to say that, and like when Quick did, it followed what followed from it. And I think that's what is nice, that that would be what would amaze me about the community, and obviously the fact that like the amount of, like, as I mentioned earlier, part of the pressure I feel like with Instagram now is just there's so many people doing such amazing content that it's like I don't really want to post my silly little picture. But do you know what? I know, but what I'm saying is just post your silly little picture, because I have just, as I said more recently, I've just decided to post whatever I want to post. That's the best way to go about it, because otherwise you put yourself under that pressure and then you never do post. Exactly. And at the end of the day, if you don't post, then you can't grow.
Exactly. Yes,
So,
good.
yeah.
So post.
Mm.
No more silly pictures. They're not silly. Just post them.
Yes.
And I have to say, what amazes me is the creativity.
Yeah.
The way this community has just exploded with how it just started with blogs, people just writing, and then they edit pictures or either from picture they took in a game or from scratch, and then making videos, and then the realistic role-playing thing, and the dressage, which is quadrille still in it all just amazes me, and
that always comes into my head now anytime somebody goes, we're doing dressage, I'm just quadrille.
It's actually quadrille. Quadrille. Yeah, and it's just and it also amazes me how productive the community is, goes together with the star power, and that I wish in a way that we could the way the community, if the community is someone in the community is creative and all that, and I have said this before, and that is, if you do something like edits and you want to work with creating stuff, put it in your resume. Like I've added this podcast to my resume because we are actually doing a project here, and if you have a YouTube channel, add it to your resume because that's big stuff. You show that you have taught yourself in a way that no one had to taught you something. You are self-learned, I think it's called in English. And
self-taught.
Self-taught, thank you. And you have big creativity and you have discipline. Like everything we do for free and on our own will, it could be put in our resume. So please do. So yeah, it's creativity and the star power. I'm gonna use that now. That amazes. Cici, what amazes you?
Well, I do agree with has all been said. And yeah, the creativity is amazing. There's so many different and unique ideas and spins on things. That's just so much fun to see what people can come up with. Like the Sony, that was such a
Oh yeah, that was cool.
yeah.
Sony power.
Yeah, Sony power. Please, Lisa, make a Sony. So,
That was quite cool.
yeah, and Lisa is really cool, and she was like, keep them hashtags coming, I want to know what you want. So yeah, that's really cool that we as a community can come together and be like, hey, we want this, and we want this, and we can, you know, work together for it, and then we get it. It's so cool. So yeah, that's a big part of the community. That is amazing that, yeah, we can just do stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Together. It's so nice.
Together forever.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's a High School Musical. Never mind.
Are we gonna get copyrighted? Oh no.
No. It wasn't even 30 seconds.
Yeah. Oops.
Okay. So yeah, the community is amazing in general.
Yeah.
In many different ways.
Brings you a lot of good energy too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is true. Moving on, what is the kindest thing someone has said to you in this community? And I have to agree, this was a very difficult question.
Yeah.
So let's start with Clara.
Too many. Like I get a lot of DMs and they are like, everyone says like, Clara, I know you get this a lot, but I really appreciate you and everything. But like every single message sounds so different and meant like so much to me. But recently I want, because I have so many, I don't know which one to pick. But one of the recent ones, like it's like kind of like the old friends, old supporters that I have before. Like I started on Facebook and I met so many people from there, from YouTube and Instagram. And some of them just had to like leave the community because it was not their thing anymore. They were too busy working or studying, and apparently they all came back this month. So I had like 3 friends that came back, and they were like, "Oh my God, Clara, what are you up to? I saw like pictures of you working at Star Stable, you as an ambassador a few months ago. What's going on?" So I think it's like they share like, because also they share like. It's hard to explain, but it's just that I was like very touched when they say like, "Oh my God, you reach your dreams," and it's amazing how you are now. How you started like from Facebook, doing some videos, Instagram, and then working for the game you love. So it was really cool to receive that kind of comments. But also, I will say to all my lovely followers that have been supporting me since day one, since I said that I wanted to go to Sweden to live, and they have been there supporting me and believing in me, and sharing a lot of information and helping me out. And I've received a huge amount of comments and very sweet and kind DMs saying like, "We're proud of you, like how you work hard to get there, or how you like find a way." Like it was not easy to get there. It was. I just had to find a way, and I did. And yeah, they were all happy about it. So I think that's where like it really meant a lot, because it was kind of like my dream becoming true, and they were there all the time for me. So yeah, I would say these two.
Yeah, I actually do remember. I think it was in the beginning when because we became ambassadors at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's a bit over I think maybe 2 years ago or something.
Oh, wow.
Almost 2 years, yes.
Almost 2
Wow.
years. Where I believe we were sitting together and talking how we wanted to work at Star Stable, and me and Clara was like really writing down, well, like we can actually clean your floors and windows, just let us in.
Yeah.
We can like water the plants, do anything you want.
Yes, we do anything. We can clean. I can sit behind the receptionist and just be there.
Yeah, give snacks to people, but you know, like back there, I really meant it. But at the same time, I was kind of joking, because I would never ever think that it was actually possible to be here. So yeah, it's kind of.
I have to agree. I still don't believe it. That I'm happy for you. So yeah, good to hear, and we are of course very proud of you, because you have done an amazing journey.
A long one, yeah.
Cici, what is the kindest thing someone has said to you in this community?
Oh, it's hard. Well, I have been writing a lot of stuff, personal stuff on my blog, about, growing up, being bullied, and, having depression and anxiety. I want to stop bullying and, make other people, boost their confidence, and, it's going to be alright. I want to be that good force. And when people, comment that they think I'm a good person, that really means a lot to me. And that what I write helps them. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm getting emotional. But yeah, it's so important, and especially when I'm going back to being a writer as an ambassador. That was really huge for me, because it really is my passion to help other people. And Star Stable is my big interest, my my nerdy obsession.
Yeah.
It's really fun to have like your like your hobby thing, like the thing you play or do for relaxation, also be the thing that you can, like, a platform for your values, and that I can help people with my content and creativity. It feels really good, and oh my God, I'm rambling so much in this. What's wrong with me? I'm so emotional. Yeah, I love you, Starfam. You're awesome. So, yeah.
Okay. It's okay. Cici, what is the kindest thing someone has said to you?
I have had like really nice messages from people and conversations with people, but I don't think it's actually what somebody said to me. I love it whenever somebody said, this made my day, or this made me smile, or this made me laugh.
Oh.
That it made somebody feel better, maybe if they're having a bad day. I think for me, that's something that I appreciate, that I've done that, or I've, not necessarily, made content and expected that reaction. I think that's probably, or just like, if I've had a bad day and somebody says something and it lifts me up, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes you have a bad day, and just sometimes that nice little comment from somebody, or watching something, or it just lifts you and makes you feel a wee bit better. And I think that's what it would be for me.
I have gotten a lot of kind things said to me, and of course all of them make me happy. There have been people that's complimentary on my look whenever I show myself in front of the camera, which of course makes me also very happy. But I think the ones that makes me the most happy is when people compliment the content I have done, to know that I'm doing something that I'm doing it the right way, basically. And I have still the one comment I still have. I can't say it precisely how it was, but it was I decided to change up my roast reviews a little bit. I added like text, like writing exactly what gate I'm talking about and what each segment was. I just added text on that, and someone actually posted a comment saying, I noticed that you have worked a lot more on this and it's great. So just having that someone actually noticed that I put a lot more work on it made me really happy.
Yeah.
So just a general tip for you people out there, just basically take a moment to write something nice. It will only make both you and that person who receives it very happy, and makes you both feel good. Rather that than put a minute down to write something bad that only hurts the other people and you wasted a minute of your life. So make every minute count. That's what I'm trying to say for both yourself and
if you've the time to waste time writing a mean comment, you have time to help stop global warming, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
you should print that on a shirt.
Yeah,
I will.
we need that on a poster. Okay. We would actually, I feel that is something in the comments down below, you people who are listening. It would be awesome to see what is the kindest thing that has been said to you in the comments. So if you have something that you remember, you don't have to precisely name the exact person. Just write whatever was said to you and that makes you happy. So leave that in the comments down below. Okay, moving on to a more interesting question. How important do you believe that a community on social media is for the actual game experience itself, along as for the Star Stable as a company? And I can start because I can imagine this was quite a difficult question to answer. And I do believe it's very important. This really gives player a whole new identity in life that is different from their real one. And I think it has done a lot for people who, for some reason, aren't that happy with their real life for the moment, or just need a break in general. And the way it is set up with social media in the game, it is like really, you get another life. Like I have my real life, and then I have Rose Shadowlee life that is inside the game, and she has social media, she has a YouTube, and she has Instagram, and all that. At the same time, it is still me as a person. And I do believe it does, like the way the community is so big on social media, it is basically free advertisement for the company Star Stable. I do not believe they would have reached as many players if it wasn't for how big the community has gotten on the social media. So for me, I feel it's very important. I do see that Star Stable has noticed that themselves and uses it a lot. Which is good for them. I do not blame them or anything. Like, go ahead, it's good for you. This is good stuff. So yeah, that is basically my thoughts. Cici, what do you believe?
Yeah, I totally agree. It's very important. Just have that relationship between the company, Star Stable, and the players is huge. I remember in the beginning of the game, the early years, there was a lot of frustration because the information wasn't very good between the players and the company. You know, maybe they wrote only information on Facebook, which, not everyone has Facebook, especially not the younger players, because I think there was an age restriction there. So that was really frustrating in the beginning. But also, they were a much smaller company back then. They didn't have, people employed to do that. So, you gotta have that in mind as well. So I really do think they have improved a lot on that point. Because now it's so much easier to find information about the game. If something's going on, if there's a bug in a update or something, they are so much better, telling us, the players, about it. So yeah, I really agree, Rose, that the social media is very important for the game to be visible. So yeah, for new players, every game there needs new players to survive. Because old players, they come and go also. I mean, some just get tired of the game or just don't have time for it and so on. So new players are very important. And also the social media is a big platform for the Star Stable community, for the Star Stable team to listen to us player, scanning what we want. So, the Sony hashtag. So yeah, it's... Oh wow, I feel like I'm rambling.
Nope.
A really good place that we as players, we actually have power. To share what we think about the game and what we want, and they really do read. Clara, you can really agree here that Star Stable does see everything and does care. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Okay. TZ, what do you think?
I think in terms of it as a company, the social media side is a really powerful tool. Because you see that not in just in Star Stable, but other places, other kinds of things, not even just games, is that, if somebody posts something, some people won't even buy a certain game now unless they watch this person that they follow play it or review it. So I feel like social media has such a large power now, because years ago people would read reviews of products, and now companies are getting live feedback all the time in various formats. So I think in that regard it's an extremely powerful tool, and it has the ability to do good, but it also can go the other way too. So I think it's something there that I think is extremely important for a company to take note, and sort of follow along and sort of see what's being requested, because at the end of the day you can message support and send in a suggestion, but some people aren't going to do that. They're just going to talk about what they like to see kind of on social media and so forth. So I think that's why it's there. In terms of the community itself and how it's important for the community, it's, I guess, the sharing of ideas, sharing of information. It's very, very instantaneous now, because if I try to log in and somebody says, oh, there's this bug, it's maybe not worth logging in right now, or the servers are down, I don't even need to go and do anything. I don't even have to go look it up. It's just somebody's posted on Instagram. So I think it's a really instantaneous way of feedback on both ends.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I would say that it's really, really important.
Yeah.
It's just become inbuilt, and I don't ever see this really going away.
That is true. Clara, you have insight from both the company and the outside, so what is your thought?
Yeah, that was kind of like a tricky question, because I was trying to put myself as a player ambassador, but at the same time, so I'm gonna try to answer them merged together. So I will say that personally it's very important, because I feel like the community connects to us, but they also connect to each other, and also that's we have I also feel like we have a direct access to them. Like we can ask them anything, and they would just come back to us with a ton of feedback. So I think social media help us to like build trust. So it is important for us that they trust us enough to reach to us, like if they want to share feedback, ideas, or anything. Also, they spread content in the best way possible with their creativity and imagination. It's like amazing. And I will say that for players, social media is really important because I think they can help each other. They can like have some guidance. Like in the comments, someone will ask like, "Where can I buy this shirt?" And they can help each other, or something like help them in a mission and so on. I think social media can help as much as the team, as the Starfam. Also, I will say, as a player, I personally experienced that the social media helped me a lot to stay connected to the game, because whenever I was working, studying, or just away, I wasn't able to like get into the game. But I was still able to get in touch with Star Stable, or just contact, or just, like stay in touch with the players, with my friends. So that I think social media is like a big part of the game too. And also, as you said, Rose, it's also like, personally for me, it's like my little world where I'm like, I kind of share pretty much everything. It's kind of like in real life and Star Stable merged together there. So yeah, it's a little world that means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. So it is important in some way.
Yes. And also I want to add that Star Stable sees everything. Like sometimes I'm not sure about the community, but they mostly reply to as much as they can. And if they get like a video that a player sends, or like a picture with an idea, we always share it in our channel and everyone sees it. And we always talk about you guys, how creative you are. So just know that whatever you do out there, we see it. And maybe we cannot always comment on it, but we see it and we share it.
It's like the Illuminati.
It's a conspiracy.
That might have been a reference that not many knows about anymore, but oh well. Okay, so moving on. Can the creativity in the community keep the players active in the game? Which is what I'm like from the previous question before. Does it help to keep them active? And I have to say yes. For me personally, it has definitely kept me active. I believe it is harder for people to just leave the game, since it is your second identity. And as I said, it is for me to just leave, because I mean everyone has those periods of time where you just don't play as much. It gets a bit. You have other stuff in your life that keeps away from the game, but the community and the creativity and how on all social media, it keeps you updated, and it keeps you like, you get to know if there's something new that has come to the game, if they have done like a sneaky update where something has changed somewhere on the island and it gets out there, and keeps you also interested with the like realistic role playing. It has given players like a reason to just continue with their account. If there isn't something to do in the game, they just do it themselves, like they have their own thing to do. So they give themselves chores. And quests. When there are no quests in the game, we give ourselves quests.
That's a good way to put it.
So it's definitely, yes, it keeps us active. Of course, it's not everyone that is kept active, but a lot of players is still active. Cici, what do you think? Can the creativity keep players in the game?
Yes. Because it's keeping me from personal experience, you know, for an old player like me. There have been like different periods of time in Star Stable where there hasn't been, you know, a lot of things to do in the game, especially as a high level player. You kind of just get caught up with everything, and then you have nothing to do, and then new stuff comes, and then you do them, and then you're like, it's kind of like like a circle, like ooh. Wow, that was Good, explain. Do you get what I mean, or?
Yes, I think.
Yes. Okay, good. So, yeah, during those times, you can, if you have a blog or a YouTube or Instagram, you can just be like, oh, this parts of the game is what, I miss, and this I would wish for an improvement, and you can be like, oh, the things I don't have that I want, you can spin around and discuss that.
Yeah.
Or discuss functions in the game that already exist, but you want to see new things added. And yeah, you can get a lot of info from the community, for new events and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, so we can move on to TC. What do you think?
I think it depends on the kind of creativity, and I guess it depends on the person. Because, like, let's say, for example, you have somebody who sees an edit that somebody's done. They might go, oh, I'd like to try that. So they might log into the game, take a few pictures, to then do the same thing. Or someone might see someone make a video and think, oh, I'd like to make a video like that. And then they go into the game and do that. So I think in that regard, whenever people create content, sometimes it can sort of help to promote people to stay more active in game. I remember one time posting a video where I just trained a bunch of my horses, and somebody said, this actually motivated me to go and train my horses. So, that was an example of that. So I guess in that regard, there are certain scenarios where it can. Obviously, some people become inactive, and until there's something that they're interested in, they're not going to go on regardless. So I think it does depend on the person, and I think it depends on their interests. Like the RRP is a good example of that, but I'm sure we'll get into that later.
Okay, Clara?
Yeah, I think like TC pretty much put what I had to say in words, but for instance, like something that I saw that was really fun. You saw like the role play on Instagram. Like first it was because role play kind of started in game and then on Instagram or something like that. But like this time it was kind of like the inverse. Like the role play started on Instagram with game competitions, and it's kind of like they made an event and they just play together with championships and like with their own horses. I think that was like kind of like a very creative way to like motivate people to go back into the game and play together. So I think like with any kind of content and creativity, you can find motivation to play, and also like you can also like get new ideas to have fun in game. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay. That was a very interesting question. And yes, because I feel like you don't really think about it being a way that actually makes you stick around. But when you think about it, it's like, well, yeah, it actually does. Is my brain washed or something? A tiny bit, maybe. We have trends in the community, and right now is probably the realistic role playing, which we have been doing a lot today. What do you think is the next trend, Cici?
Oh wow, that is such a hard question. Well, there might be there's a lot of like challenges in a lot of different communities. So maybe like if that kind of will seep into Starfam, like Star Stable versus real life with horses or something like that. Like find the horse that looks like you.
Yeah.
Maybe like. Yeah, fun and weird challenges, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, interesting. Okay, Clara, what do you think is the next?
It's hard to tell because I've been in the community for 5 years and I can never unless it's like just like at the right moment when okay, that's the next trend. But otherwise, right now it's hard to tell. I for sure, I know for sure that the roleplay will come back because it has been like. It stops and then it comes back and it stops and it goes back again. So I will say that the community is always full of surprises and I'm ready to be blown away again.
Yeah, that is true. I do believe that dressage, or quadrille, as I like to say, will become bigger. It sort of is on a pause right now. At least here in Sweden, it hasn't really gotten anywhere, and I sort of got the feeling that it has been paused in general everywhere because of the realistic role playing.
I think it has too, to be honest. I think it started to come in and got really, really popular because we had this surge of dressage clubs in the UK servers, and then suddenly it's just kind of gone boom.
Yeah.
Like I was on yesterday and I was training and I could see the global chat, and I rarely look at global because I just don't want to.
No.
But I saw a couple of clubs being advertised. These are realistic roleplay clubs.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they were. It was like hunting, jumping. You know, that was their focus. So I felt like maybe the dressage clubs are going to come back a little bit more. Like, there's still dressage clubs around. It's just I feel like the realistic roleplay clubs have kind of taken off, and then you have mine, which is just like, we're going to do whatever we want.
Yeah.
There's no organization here.
The classical clubs are gone, people. But either dress quadrille is a bigger thing, but the realistic role-playing clubs could actually become bigger than it even is. I still feel like the biggest focus is still on Instagram, but something tells me it's gonna get bigger inside the game if there are more clubs that manage to figure out a system that makes it work and also keeps it going. I feel that is the biggest issue, is to keep it going and keep it active. But if someone figures that out, I think it's gonna be very huge. So,
or if we finally get dressage in the game.
You mean dressage or quadrille?
Well, actual dressage that we could then use for both quadrille and dressage.
Okay. Okay, how can one be creative inside the game? Because we have mostly been talking about the creativity outside. But how can one be creative inside the game? Someone who wants to start?
Me.
Clara, go ahead.
Well, one thing that I like to do in Star Stable is creating outfits, because you can like find your own style and be your own kind of creative. And you have like many styles, like you can be like realistic to anything pretty much in the game. And I think that making outfits, you can really like let your creativity out, just like creating something with your horse, and or like even like role play, you can make it realistic, grow into something else, just like let your imagination go away or fly away, I mean. And also like with Purple Pony, I think that as soon as we can get more stuff, it will be like easier to be more creative and also make stories about your outfits. Another thing is you can be creative even in the smallest ways. Like if you have like a stable with your horses, you can name your horses like as the characters in the movies, and you can have like you can like have fun with your horse's name. And also one of the biggest things that I think we can have fun with creativity in game is the clubs. Like for instance, I've seen players creating clubs with amazing themes like Harry Potter or pretty much anything, and I think that together as a club they can get even more creative and get more ideas. So I think that will be kind of like the three things that I have in mind right now.
Okay. I guess I can agree. For sure, the role playing can go on, and that goes for like anything. You can go and role play just with your friend, to doing it with your club, and like creating lessons, writing lessons, editions, and so on. And as you said, it can experiment with outfits. But that's about it for me. I think that you can be creative inside the game. TC, what do you think?
I'm gonna have to say I don't really have much to add on that. I think I really disagree with both of you. It's kind of a case of, creating. Whether sometimes I suppose people creating new games and things to play, within the game with the mechanics that we have.
Yeah.
Because they can be kind of limiting in that regard. So I think stuff like that. Because I feel like when somebody comes up with a new game idea and it goes viral, so to speak, then you see it being done on all the different servers.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cece, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It's so much fun with the different themes and in the riding clubs. That's so cool. So yeah, you can be really creative with events and role playing, with yourself or with others, and then you have photo mode. It's really good.
That's true. We have photo mode.
Photo mode is really good to just learn about what kind of different camera angles would work and different lightings and such.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of things you can do.
And at the same time, I'm getting the feeling there isn't really that much in the game per se that gives us the ability to be creative. We make it creative ourselves. That is what I'm mostly getting here. So does the game need more ways for the player to be creative?
Yes.
You can start. What do you think?
I feel like there is a lot of things that kind of need to be added in the sort. There's one thing I want to keep for my wish later on because I've decided what I want for a wish later on. But I feel like, for example, with clubs, if you're doing something like playing something as simple as hide and seek or setting coordinates for a treasure hunt. I feel like mechanics like that where you could set a spot, almost like a mini quest, and whoever finds it first, you automatically know.
Yeah.
Things like that. I feel like small mechanics, and maybe not necessarily, I say small mechanics, I know they're going to be very difficult to code, and an absolute headache to whoever has to do something like that. Being able to have our own characters jump.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Things like that. For me, I feel like we need more little mechanics like that. Because it's always kind of difficult sometimes whenever you have a club event, and let's say you have to get people to, find someone. Because I did a treasure hunt one time, which was really fun. I would give them a clue, and then they'd have to go find them. I had to rely on that person to figure out who got there first.
Yeah.
But obviously there's game lag, there is, and sometimes you see someone before somebody else, but in actual fact, because even if I'm just training with somebody will be like, I'm in front of you, and I'm like, no, on my screen you're behind me, or you're beside me.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I feel like more mechanics that could kind of let you track each other in that regard, like, in the sense that if you're playing a game like that, and you can say, there's the objective, so whenever you get to it, I know you got there first.
Yeah.
Kind of like for races, you know who got in there first.
Yeah.
Because the game knows.
Yeah.
So, stuff like that for me. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Cici, what do you think?
Yeah, I do agree with that. I've been thinking about what you wrote a lot of episodes. That being able to choose the time of day and night when recording for YouTubers. That would be a great help for being creative. Also, updating the writing club function. That would make a huge difference. Just think that competing against other clubs.
Yeah.
That's like a huge project to do right now.
Yeah.
Which almost takes it like outside the game. Too much planning and everything.
Yeah.
And we actually have trophy cabinets in the riding club house.
Oh yeah.
But it's so empty. It's come on, I want to compete against other clubs and little trophies and stuff. That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
So,
yeah. Okay. Clara, what do you think could be added?
I think there's always room for improvement, especially when it involves creativity. But right now, two things that I have in mind is Purple Pony Tour. I think many more stuff can be added there. And also the theater. We have a theater, and it's super cool, the stuff that we can do inside. But I feel like many players have requested to have a green screen or be able to record stuff. So I think that kind of things will be useful for some of us.
Yeah? That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, and I myself would say that I would really like it if we could decorate our stable.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good way.
Yeah, that's a thing. Or this, I thought about this like a long time ago, but and I think it's how the horse setup of how we buy horses today is because what I know now it's starting to get like sometimes it's a real trouble to place new horses in the game. We have to remove old ones to make room for the new ones. And so I thought of a feature that would be kind of cool if we ever release, like when we release the Caltech, that they placed one, but when you choose to buy, you get to like the mall's sort of setup when you're looking at tack. But there you get the Caltech, and there you get to choose colors and maybe even add if we want is it called blaze? On the forehead, like on the head, different kinds of white patterns, markings, and so on. So we can get a tiny bit more creative and free on how we want our horses to look like.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it would leave a bit more space. Yeah, it would leave a bit more space outside in the world instead of placing 6 horses somewhere. And so that's an idea. That was actually the end of the part where we discussed the topic together. Now we're moving on to the questions from our guests. Clara, are you ready for the questions?
I was born for it.
Oh, good quote. Okay, good. You are active on Instagram, but you used to have YouTube channel. Can you tell us what happened that made you move towards Instagram? Maybe you already did. But oh well, answer please.
I haven't here in this podcast, but it's kind of like a long story. I'm trying to make it short.
Okay.
I started on Facebook and then I moved to YouTube. And then on YouTube I started making videos and keep growing. But there was at some point where I would just easily take a break and I moved to Instagram. But there I just stayed for a couple of months because it didn't interest me that much. So I kind of abandoned Instagram and then I went back to YouTube. But I think I did both simultaneously. But I abandoned Instagram. I just forgot about it. So I kept going with YouTube and keep growing and keep learning and how to do videos and so on. But at some point, my computer didn't work that smoothly with the programs I had. So I kind of wanted to keep going with my creativity and find another way to share my creativity with the Starfam. And I didn't want to give that up, so I found another way and I tried Instagram again, and I just started first posting pictures and then slightly editing pictures and to where I am now. So I think it's mostly the change was made because first my programs didn't work quite well. So and I wanted players to have good quality content and not lag and so on. And the other thing is that I felt whenever I was doing stuff for YouTube, I will spend a lot of time in game, but recording stuff for someone else and not for myself. So I will not enjoy the game 100%.
Okay.
So I kind of wanted to enjoy more the moment whenever I spent time in Star Stable, and I felt with Instagram I kind of had enough time to be in the game but also work for myself and for my audience. So I think, and now I feel super comfortable about Instagram, and I personally will not come back to YouTube unless I have much more time.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Then we know, and then everyone knows how to do it. Okay. Something that amazes me with you is that you're very active with your DMs. Maybe it is because I'm a bit of an introvert sometimes, and I'm very bad with small talk. But hearing that you get a lot of DMs and you keep the position going is just, for me, it amazes me that you have the energy. So I do want to know, how many do you talk to for one day? Ish.
It's hard to say because many are Clara, you have this many followers, how is it possible that you answer the ends? Sometimes some of them just reply to a story and they get an answer and they're oh my god, I didn't expect that, you have tons of followers, how do you do that? But to be honest, I have no idea. At least I know that the lowest numbers that I can get to is when nothing is going on, when the update is so chill, there's no issues, and when I post no stories and feed and pictures my feed, but that rarely happens. And that will be like around 30 to 50 DMs plus the replies. But it's still pretty wild most part of the time, so it's always like above those numbers, especially when I have like stories, because I love to spam my stories.
Yeah.
I just can't help it, it's just my talent. When I post questions and when there's like game issues or like people who randomly want to chat, like cute chat, like hello, what are you up to? And also like I get a lot of sushi and dog pictures. So yeah.
All the
I would
sushi
say
stuff.
yeah, the average numbers, I don't know them, but it just depends what's going on.
Yeah.
I do receive quite.
Yeah. Okay. Still amazing.
It takes a lot of time. I'm not gonna keep that secret. It takes a lot of time. Hours.
Are you an extrovert?
What does that mean? What is like the? I never know which one is it.
Introvert is the one that doesn't really like this, or like it takes a lot of energy, social. And the extrovert is the one that seeks to be social, basically. You cannot be alone.
And gets energy from being social.
Yeah.
I think I have always a lot of energy. Like I can survive on my own if I'm alone in a land. But I think I can get even more good energy whenever I'm social with somebody. Like for instance, like whenever. That's why working here at Starfam is so cool, because you can always like find someone to talk to at lunch, and you get like much more energy when you have to go back to work. I think I'm that kind of extrovert. I think it is a word.
Yeah.
So I really like to be social with people.
Okay, good. Then I know. Then it's not just me who just feel like, oh, I'm not that social. I'm a bad ambassador. But okay. Oh, I already said that. Now that I look at the question. But yes, I am amazed by how social you are towards all the players on Instagram. Wait, I already answered this. I managed to do a follow-up question. A question that was already coming.
I can still reply to it, maybe more detailed.
Well, yeah, it is still. How do you find the energy and time to answer them all?
I'm not gonna hide this. It's for the time you really have to find the time. Like many players are like, I don't know. I'm like in the train. I'm not doing too much, or like sometimes I'm like I have too many things going on, but I still have to find the time because that's something I really like to do with players, to help them out or just to talk to them. So it's kind of like my hobby, I will say. Sometimes to just like spend some time of my day to just go through DMs and answer them. And the energy, I don't know, it's something that I really like to do. So I think that to find that motivation, you have to, I don't know, it's really hard to explain. I will say it's just like a feeling, and you don't have to put like any pressure on yourself. It's really hard to explain. I just like to do. It's really hard because it's something that I've been doing since the beginning. I never really questioned myself why I do that. I just, everything I had, like from 5 DMs to what I have now, I've always answered them all. Like, players give me so much that I also want to give them some of my time and some of me. So I kind of want to give all the love back. And if it's just by taking some time of my day, then I would just do.
Yeah, okay.
That's pretty much it.
Nice. You are a very special person. You are so kind.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for the players who wants to become active creators in the community?
Oh, I have some in my mind. I will say one that I learned is challenge yourself. Like if you're like, even if you're doing videos, blogs, or anything, every time you do something new, a new project, challenge yourself to learn something new each time. Like if it's like a program, you learn a new effect or something like that. That would be one of my tips. Then I would say don't force yourself. Like if you don't feel like doing any kind of content, just take a break and go back to it whenever you feel like it. Just follow the flow. I will also say that it takes time and hard work to like get wherever you want to go, but it will eventually pay off. So whatever, like how long you have to wait, it doesn't matter. It will just be worth it if you work for it. So it's kind of like it really takes a lot of time to reach your goals on art style, or just like get ideas to be creative. It takes time. So don't pressure yourself, just relax and it will come. And also it's something that we hear a lot, but it's just that you don't have to compare yourself, because maybe you think that it's hard for you to reach what that other person is doing. Like for you, maybe like, oh my god, I want to do just that. But you can. It's really hard. But maybe you have something better, but you're focusing on them, and you miss your chance to just get the best of you out there. So my top tip of the day is focus on yourself and not on others.
Yeah.
And also I would say try to be different. Don't need to follow the trends to be liked. If you do great content, people will like it. So just follow your heart and go for it. Also free your mind, just as before. Like many people get stuck. They're like, oh my god, I don't want to try this. It's new. Or I'm just like, be creative. Just if you have something to share, just share it, and you will see if people like it afterwards.
Yes.
And also, most importantly, is that whatever you do, you don't have to expect something back. You have to do it for yourself because you want to learn something and have fun. And so it's mostly all about, if you want, like the top tip will be like learn, connect. I would say be nice, because that's really important, to connect and be nice to your followers. And most importantly, have fun. It's not about numbers, it's just what you get from it.
Yeah.
Okay, good tips. Very good.
Yeah, really good.
Do you have any editing programs to recommend?
Well, I do use some. I use Photoshop mainly to edit pictures and pretty much anything. For like the ones I used to for YouTube before and that I still use now to work, After Effects and Premiere Pro, and I will combine both of them. And also, if you're starting, I would rather recommend you to use Sony Vegas, which is easier. Unless you're up for the challenge, then you're fine. But yeah, I think these 4 are the ones that I would recommend. The ones that I personally use the most. That's right.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Clara.
You're welcome.
Then we're done with this topic, unless someone has something to add.
No, I think we've got a lot of good tips
Yeah.
from this. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Then we're moving on to our favorite and least favorite update of June, which was a very interesting month. A lot of celebration, mostly in various ways and ceremonies. So let's start with Cici. What was your least favorite update?
It's kind of like my least favorite part of one update, and that was, it's very specific. But that was during Rainbow Festival.
Oh.
The Leprechaun Sean.
Oh.
He was so annoying because it was such a hassle to collect the Rainbow set, or the Prism set, I think it was called that, because he would not give me the helmet. So I was like, and then when I posted it on Instagram, there were so many people like, oh my god, yes, I didn't get a helmet as well. Like, and it was so, he was so very annoying in that.
I didn't get the leg wraps. I'm still pissed.
Oh. So he was not nice on that point.
Nope.
So he was.
But did you finally get it at the end?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
But after a lot of hardships and like
okay.
200 rainbow stones or something. It was crazy.
Yeah. Okay, but then what was your favorite?
My favorite, so many good stuff. But I really loved Farah's new druid outfit because it was like dark blue, kind of purplish, and it's
really liked it and didn't have star coins for it.
No, it's so sad. No.
And then whenever I did and I went to go get it, it was gone.
No, that's so sad.
This isn't acceptable.
No, that's not acceptable. That's sad.
Yeah, because it's so pretty. I love it.
Yeah.
So it's my favorite druid outfit right now.
It's almost purple, isn't it? It's just
the tunic is kind of like almost purple. So it's like so pretty.
Why haven't we gotten one that is?
Yeah, I mean it's like the Pandoric color is purple. Like, come on.
Even I am like, why haven't we gotten a purple one?
Or a pink one. Yes.
I can go with my least favorite in general was the Rainbow Festival. I have said before, the Rainbow Kingdom is not my favorite, and chasing Rainbow is not my favorite. So the whole festival was just not my favorite. Conclusion. And I just no, it's just not something for me. I don't like going digging in dirt. I get dirty, and I do not jumping on clouds because I just don't. Also, for me, I don't know. Was this a thing? If you have gone searching for the things on Cloud Kingdom before, you didn't have to do it again?
Yes, that was a thing.
Because
for me, it showed that I didn't have them, but I already knew that I got them last year, so I didn't do it.
Okay, that's weird, because I apparently have already found them. So I didn't really have much to do up there, so I never was there. And yeah, I tried to chase some rainbow. I really wanted the leg grabs, and then I didn't get it, and I gave up. And so yeah.
I got like 30 leg wraps. I would have loved to give you some.
Yeah, I got a lot of shirts, and I did get a lot of helmets. So
oh my god, you could have traded. Sean!
System in the game. But my favorite was definitely the story quest. It was very emotional and yet very pretty. And I love the music. And I usually say that we shouldn't take the story quest as our favorite update because it's only our favorite update. Let's just say that that's what I feel about this update. It just wasn't really. I love the Caltex. But there was a lot of festivities. I did not like the Rainbow Festival, and the Midsummer celebration was just basically like before. So I didn't have much feelings about that either. So that's why the story quest is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. TC, what was your least favorite?
My least favorite, I think, was between the Midsummer and the ceremonial dresses that we got. And the only reason was because I didn't really like the ceremonial dresses. I'm perfectly happy for everybody that liked them. Like, I was just like, a lot of people in my club were actually really happy about them. I was just kind of like, I wanted this dress. I wanted the white dress in black.
Oh yeah.
I was like, it's not black. I also thought we were getting a wedding. I don't know why.
Wow, did you play the quests?
But I don't know why. Normally I'm such a pessimist, so I was like, in my head I was thinking, we're getting a wedding, are we? And
my goodness.
I was talking to some other people. It's like, do you not remember the story quest? And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh,
right,
that's depressing.
No, not a thing. So, yeah. For me, it's kind of between the Midsummer and the thing. I think really, if I had to pick, it'd probably be the Midsummer because there wasn't really anything new with Midsummer for me. So I went and did the quest, did the XP.
Yeah.
But other than that, I wasn't bothered. I do have a question though, if anybody knows this. Does the fishing pond give a new outfit, not last year's one?
Yes, it's a new one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. When is it leaving?
Yeah, go fish, basically. Right now, go fish. But I believe it's leaving the 24th of July.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I need to go fishing.
Yeah,
Okay,
go
I'll
fish.
do the fishing then. With the new outfit.
Also, I do have to add that the Midsummer nothing was really new except for all the guests at the Midsummer Festival.
Yeah.
Go and talk
Which
to
I
these
have still
people.
So much fun
to do that.
They have so much fun stories, and in general, mostly the Star Stable are sneaky. They try to get in some stuff that might happen in the future if you sort of analyze what they're saying. And if you don't want to go and do it yourself, I have done it. Everything. But yeah, so go and talk to people at the festival. Clara, do you feel like you want?
I haven't done my favorite yet.
Sorry. Oh, I knew this would happen. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. No, the only reason I want to mention it is because it's kind of going against what everybody else said.
What?
I know, you're shocked. Right. I'm sorry, but Sean is, an Irishman, so let him go here. Have to kind of start with him.
Okay.
No, I'll be honest. I did want to wring his neck when he wouldn't give me the gloves. But no, what I loved about the Rainbow, I loved the new tech set. I can't go on about how much I loved it. I loved that saddle.
Oh yeah.
I am super annoyed that it doesn't have stats. I love the pants. I love the boots. So I was like, I would pay to add stats to those.
Oh, yeah, me too.
You know, I would pay to add stats to those because I really like those.
I want that feature.
You know, by the 30th apple, I was threatening to throw the apples at Sean's head. So you know.
Yeah. Same.
But yeah, like I love the outfit. I really love the outfit. I just it's been a while since I've liked an outfit that much, so no, I really was pleased with that, and that would be my favorite thing that we've had this month. So yeah.
Okay, now you have answered. Sorry, I guess.
It's fine.
Clara, do you want to share us with what you think? You are okay if you do not want.
Well, to be honest, I don't really know what is like my least favorite update, but I do know what is my favorite update.
Okay.
My favorite update has been the Jorvik wild horses.
Oh yeah.
The cherry blossom tree and what's like the English word for that tree?
Isn't it Bjork?
Birch.
Birch.
Yeah,
That's
birch.
Silver
tree.
birch tree, yeah.
I think because I've seen the concepts, the concept art and the work in progress, and I talked to the artist, and I was just blown away when I first saw it. I was like, "What? You guys are really doing this?" I think that because I really like different stuff and creativity, so I was like really hyped when I saw like what they were working on. So I think that has been like it's like one of the most creative horses we had in game, to be honest. And they're like full of details, and I'm a detail lover, so I was like super hyped to have them in game, and now we do. So they are amazing, and it's also with one of my favorite horses. The Lusitano is no longer with the Shire, so I think they are even more beautiful now. To be honest, my personal opinion. I love it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sad if they added a rose horse. Like
a what?
A rose horse with a lot of that would be
I can add that to the list.
Yes, please. Okay, so that was our... You do not want to answer favorite. You don't.
I really don't know.
Okay.
No.
Then we're moving on to our monthly wish.
Can I just add one thing?
Okay.
Wouldn't it be great if it came like in some form of dark or black Lusitano or Jorvik Wild?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, kind of like black with red rose. That is so pretty.
Or maybe a Z version of a Lusitano?
Oh.
Yeah.
That's purple.
That was so pretty.
A Pandoric one. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We have so many ideas for Jorvik Wilds.
I want my fjord. My Pandoric fjord.
The Pandoric fjord.
Yeah.
Did you debate it with Lisa when you were at the office? You forgot
about... She wasn't there when I was...
Cici wants a Pandoric fjord.
Yes. With like purplish. Oh.
Yeah, and I have to agree, we do need it in our life.
Yes.
I can note it down.
Oh, thank
you.
Yay, thank you. Okay, moving on to our monthly wish, and I do want to start because I have a big idea.
Oh my god.
That I received just like a day ago or something. Because I feel like the main, the stylist for horses is a very old feature.
Yeah.
It would be great if we could update it so, like, it's still there, but we have a feature that we can buy the skill to do our horses' manes ourselves. So, like, in our stable, we can go and buy it at the horse style. Of course, it would be expensive. Like, it can't be cheaper than actually going there and change just one style. I think maybe the skill will cost 500 star coins or something. Just something. But then when you have it, you can change the horse's main style as much as you want because you can do the skill yourself.
What about having a quest where you learn
to
breed horses' manes? And as you level up and rep with that reputation, you're able to make different mane styles.
Yeah, that could also be.
That would be cool.
I'm thinking of it more as sort of like a luxury feature, like the leading feature. So, of course, that would be very cool if we could get it for free. I'm not saying that.
Well, I just think it would be really cool if it could be like a thing where you maybe work with this person that produces show horses, and they teach you all the different ways to, do stuff with your horse. Because you know shark teeth.
Oh yeah.
Do you know? That on the backhand quarters. Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. That would be cool. Like sort of style your horse and like make braids and or cut it short or make it long. Just all that, but have it as your own in the stable, so you don't have to go and buy a new hairstyle. And that is something that I would really.
Yeah.
Because they could bring an element of buying to it. Let's say you were to buy the materials needed.
Yeah.
You know the way whenever we were able to expand our stable.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like you could buy the area to do it, and you could then once you let's say you build up the reputation to do the quest.
Yeah.
And you get the reputation, you get the skill level.
Yeah.
So then you buy the area in your stable, and then the supplies in order to do those things.
Yeah.
Oh
my god.
That's
a good idea.
Yeah, kind of like a grooming box in the shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
So you would kind of get a quest out of it, but also there's the buying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. Love it.
Okay. Clara, do you have a monthly or 2 monthly wishes?
I'm a player who loves to spend time with outfits, so one of my ideas would be to, when it comes to like when you buy an outfit, I would like to, like when you press on one item and then you want to check the other one, I want those two to stay like, like if you click on both of them at the same time, like because if you want to check the color of a pen and the pants and with the color of your shirt, you cannot do it at the same time unless you buy one of them, if you know what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And also, like, just like improve the shopping features, because they are not quite convenient for now.
No. Yeah. Okay. Good wishes. Cici, what's your wish?
It kind of feels like I'm nagging about this, but like I mentioned it a lot of times before, but
Purple Fjord.
Yeah, apart from that, I was waiting for that. It's a wish I have had for many, and that is to, have a function where you can only see yourself while questing, especially during main quests.
Yes.
Because it really drags down on your player experience when, you're supposed to be this badass hero, and then there are like 50,000 other badass heroes who's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And you kind of like, I can't even see my character because
there's a horse
same spot I am talking to the same person, telling me I'm special for saving the world. Well, it's like, no, I don't feel special. So yeah, or even just during normal quests for, I think, like for YouTube creators.
Yeah. Yes, I would not.
Trend now with role playing. If you want to role play and have a YouTube series, I have to retake this shoot because someone just jumped over me, which is like that wouldn't happen.
Or
if you
ran
want to.
through me.
Someone just totally ran me. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Very good. I have to.
Have.
I would love it. TC, what's your monthly wish? You can only have one.
Yeah, this is the thing that I said I was going to keep back for later. It was something that you mentioned that made me be like, yes, this is what I would like. Kind of what you mentioned earlier about being able to customize, clothing and things. I would love to be able to select colors and things like that on clothes, or kind of edit things. Like, let's say there's a particular part of the clothing that's got a particular color that you could choose a color off of a different palette. Not necessarily one of those really massive palettes, but be able to kind of select and alter it. I think something like that, because when it comes to creativity and creating outfits and things like that, you might like the style of the outfit, but you do not like the color.
No.
You might like the style of the hair, but you do not like the hair color.
Yeah.
So that's where it comes for me. I think I'd like to see something like that. The ability to actually alter things in game. Like that.
Yep. Yeah. I would love that.
Me too.
Okay. That was it, people. Whoop, whoop. We did another episode, and we of course want to thank you, Clara, for joining us. It has been great fun to have you here.
I had a lot of fun. It was my pleasure.
Yay! So happy that you had fun. In the it's of course it's always great to talk about the community because it's such a big part of all of our lives. That was hard to say. So if you are a part of Star Stable, you are a part of the community. Starfam for life.
Starfam for life.
Yes. Wanna add that in the next episode, people, we are actually reaching our anniversary.
Yay!
Yeah, we have done this for a year soon.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Can I add something?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would like to thank you guys for everything you do for the podcast. I think it's like a super creative and fun way to learn stuff about other players, what the community is up to, about the team itself, like what we do at work and how we do stuff. I think it's like super interesting topics, and all the time you guys spend like with questions and with the host, the guest. I mean, it's really impressive, and I wanted to thank you guys for like having this.
Oh,
Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Now I'm crying.
Sweet.
Yeah, okay. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, for our next episode, that is our anniversary episode, we will not have a guest. We are actually going to look back on all the episodes we have done for the year and just discuss and what we thought about, what we are looking for to the future, and so on. Just ramble, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Expect a lot of rambling.
Yeah,
especially for me.
And what we would like for future stuff, and and of course I will post another picture where I ask you, our listener, what you would like us to talk about. If you have any questions for us in general or anything, so I will post that somewhere in the future before our recording. But yes, this was the end of episode 12. I think it is. Yeah, episode 12.
I think so.
Yeah. And again, thank you, Clara, for joining us. It was great fun. And remember, people out there, to stay awesome as always. Share love. And if you have a minute to write a bad comment, you have a minute to global warming. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, remember to stay awesome as always, people. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey,
Bye.
Bye.